Last year, he and Thompson played every other game just about all season. Lindgren played 39. This year, he's been more of a backup. This just his 11th start of the season. Wild come into this game 5th in the league in terms of goals against per night at 2.61. Caps also elite defensively. They allow even fewer, 2.47. And Ovechkin rides him face first into the end glass.
Well, Faber does a great job taking that hit, because that is scary when you've got 8 barreling down on you. The guy can shoot a puck, but he can finish a check too.
Yurov from behind the net comes free to Tarasenko. A shot. He scores!
Makeshift second line for the Wild just gets to work behind the net. Hughes leaves it in space for his partner Faber. Yurov swinging through the trapezoid. Is looking for Trennian. Doesn't get him, but Washington is kind of focused on that. They over collapse, and Tarasenko from the high slot gets him.
Kaprizov up high. Centers. Boldy's redirect goes well wide. Faber to Hughes. Hughes rips it back to Faber. A shot knocked down with a glove by Lindgren. Knocked down at center, and Wilson takes a hit from Jones.
Kind of picking up where they left off from the October game. 45 on Gustavsson in that game.
Not passing up a shot, also not passing up a hit. Strome shot from the slot, knocked aside by Gustavsson. A long wrist shot. That one's kicked out by Gustavsson. And Hughes sends it ahead for Minnesota. Hartman hits the Capital line. Drops it back to Faber. Across for Hughes. Hughes in, a shot, and a save by Lindgren. Caps maintain the zone. LaPierre to the point, but it hops out to neutral ice. Frank carries in. Walks down the slot, a backhander, and a save by Gustavsson.
And that was the exact angle the referee had. It looked a little more benign from that angle.
Loose puck out front. Ovechkin bats one out of the air, and Gustavsson hangs on for Minnesota.
Just 2 on the season for Ovechkin this year, though.
Caps have numbers at center. Strome had his pass broken up by Obe Kubel. Hartman now ahead to Foligno. Foligno on the low breakaway, looking for his first of the year. Saved by Lindgren.
You know, again, sometimes it gets in your head. You look up, you settle this puck, and he's a right catcher. Don't forget that. So Marcus Foligno, usually lefty coming down. That's low blocker, he goes. But there with the free hand, no stick in it, he tries to go to the same spot, that low blocker area. The fact that the Wild are now being talked about as a true contender, his game's been elevated.
We've seen him elevate his game. Here's a breakaway the other way. Faravari in for Washington, and a save by Gustavsson.
Go to the outside to protect it, and Faravari with a good stick.
Faber with speed into the Washington zone to Jones. He fires, tipped by Faber, saved by Lindgren. Still no whistle, the puck is loose. Yurov deflects to the corner.
Well, break this one out clean, and it ends up on the left side of your screen here with Jones, and brings us to the net. Tipped by Faber, who's been active in this game offensively.
Boldy to Kaprizov. Tarasenko fires. That was blocked. He got it right back. Tarasenko to the line. Hughes. Kaprizov hammers one off the post.
You get a guy like Quinn Hughes on your power play, and it'd be easy to overpass the puck, but maybe some added inspiration from that group, and the battle for the best Russian on the ice here tonight. You know, he's amazing.
Here he goes off the post.
Quinn Hughes comes down the left side, shoots a puck through a screen in front. Eriksson act.
And now he'll start out. Long pass at center, deflected. Comes on the stick of Pitlick. He's in, but fires high and wide.
Understanding the timing and the room through the middle of the ice, he snaps it forward, and then Sturm just has to put that on a tee for Pitlick coming through. Again, it's just the timing. One touch bump, boom, right to the middle. Pitlick sprung. Now
Faber sends it out through neutral ice. Trennian able to bump Van Riemsdyk off the puck, and Tarasenko came up with a great chance.
Where they'd get some secondary scoring with Kaprizov, Eriksson, and Boldy on the top line, but the Wild's best line has been Trendy and Tarasenko and Yurov. And combination of speed and physicality there from Trendy gets under Van Riemsdyk in 10 minutes of this game, but haven't seen a lot as of late, but now chasing the puck a little bit. They're getting back to it.
McMichael throws it across. Dowd's in alone, and a save by Gustavsson.
That got that, narrowly missed. Then Dowd trying to go back where McMichael did earlier.
Underrated play right there. Tarasenko to Boldy. Back to Hughes. Boldy a drive that went wide. Tarasenko. Up high Hughes, a long shot, knocked down in front, rebound, they score! Kirill Kaprizov with a franchise record 70 power play goals, and it's a 2-0 Minnesota lead.
There's still a willingness to shoot the puck with this power play group. It's Quinn Hughes collecting a puck off of a one-timer from Boldy, and he just sees a lane, delivers it quick. Eriksson with the screen. He's going to end up getting an assist on this because it hits off his back. And then Kaprizov just going downhill. Backhand chip over the glove of Lindgren. Boy, we asked Hines this morning about the power play and who's going to benefit the most from having Quinn Hughes game 35 and ride it until 82.
Tarasenko tried to go to Eriksson. Boldy with it. Down low, Tarasenko, a shot saved by Lindgren.
Wow, what a play. It helps you get the win, but Kaprizov with some speed wide. Backhand pass to a streaking Tarasenko. Boy, they're just movement. Yeah, Wash is going to have to find a way to solve Gustavsson and the strong defense of the Wild. You figure this heavy forecheck, the big bodies. Again, at times, I think the physicality's been there for them, but they've abandoned that too at times. And you think that third period success, some of that has to do with them wearing groups down, but that hasn't really been a factor in tonight's game.
Boldy moves in, a shot, and a blocker saved by Lindgren.
Weather this injury storm.
They score right off the draw. Yurov wins the faceoff. Tarasenko has his second of the night, and Minnesota leads it 3-0.
This line continues to be good with an ozone draw, and Yurov just gets low strong, and this puck just bounces back to Tarasenko, who's
McMichael played it across. That shot goes wide, and Tarasenko scoops it up for Minnesota. Tarasenko drags to the backhand, centers, Yurov scores!
This group really did take offense to all the chatter about Kaprizov versus Ovechkin. This line has been dynamite. And how about this move from Tarasenko? Cutting to the middle between the legs and then just leaving it soft in space for Yurov to come in and dunk on Charlie Lindgren. 3 points for Yurov, goal, 2 assists, 3 points for Tarasenko. This line that Hines has had to put together because of injury has shown chemistry and been terrific. But too much power from the Wild skating, and they close that off at the blue line.
Kierstad plays it ahead. Boldy hustling. He has Foligno driving the net. Boldy cuts to the middle. A shot. He scores! An American gets into the mix tonight on Russian night in St. Paul.
Yeah, watch 17 on this one. He's not going to get an assist, but he deserves one. He puts the head down. He pushes Carlson, the defense, back, and this opens up ice for Boldy to be able to cut to the middle. And then that's the high hockey IQ for Boldy. Like, knowing goaltenders, didn't try to raise that against the grain. No goalie's moving.
Filip Gustavsson will earn his third shutout of the year. Minnesota will earn their 7th, which leads the league, and is just one short of a franchise record. The Wild have won 5 in a row.